I own a house, but it's not as big as I would like, and it's not on the riverside. I have a car, but it's not that posh car that I fancy. And I have a job, but my peer group earns more than me. Those, my friends, are the symptoms of a disease called comparisonitis. This is a disease that the entire human society is subject to, but we all know that comparison is the thief of joy. And while comparisonitis is ingrained into the human species, it does help when we reflect on how far we have come and how much success we have achieved in life. So in this episode, I'm going to talk about the 4 subtle signs that signal that you are richer than you think, even if it doesn't feel like it. The first sign is that you earn more than the average person in your country. And I get it. We all struggle with this sometimes, especially when we see friends and family earning more than us. And I think that's a great thing because that keeps our aspirations going. That helps us to achieve the next success in our lives. And I, in fact, am a big proponent who says that if you find yourself to be the smartest person in the room, you need to go find another room. Having said all of that, I still do stand by the fact that we sometimes need to reflect back on how far we have come and how much better we have it than the average person. How do you find out about what average person's life is like? Look at the earnings, for example. Look at the median earning in your country. As per ONS data within the UK, it's about £38,100 a year. And as per Census Bureau data, it's about $74,580 in the US. If you compare yourself with the median income of the country and find your income to be higher than that income, you already know that you are doing something right. You just need to keep doing more of that and you have it a lot better than the average person. Obviously, this is a broad brush estimate. You need to consider your age, your industry, and all of that good stuff. But for a moment, just feel that gratitude that you are indeed doing better than the average person in your country. And actually, I know that gratitude goes a long way in attracting abundance into your life. Whether you believe it or not, I have found this to be true in my life and in the lives of a lot of friends that I know, that the more grateful we became, the more money we ended up having. But it's not only about how much you earn, which brings me to the second point, which is if you have been saving and investing regularly, you probably are doing much better than the average person on the street. And when I talk about savings, you want to talk about your emergency savings first, and eventually you want to start saving for your life goals, and ultimately you want to be investing, which is saving for retirement. Research by HSBC in fact shows that only 36% of people in the UK are investing, whereas statistical data shows that 61% of adults in the US are investing. Another way to look at these numbers is by the percentage of money that you save, which is at times called the savings ratio. Within the UK, the savings ratio has recently fallen substantially due to the cost of living crisis. And currently, as of recording this video, it stands at 8.7% as per ONS figures. And in the US, the savings percentage stands at 3.5% as per trading economics. I'm not suggesting that you save 3% or 8% as per the numbers suggest. What I am suggesting is that if you are saving even a bit more than that, you are doing much better than the average person. I still want you to have that aspirational goal of saving more than 20%. However, if you are saving over and above the average person in your country, I still want you to enjoy that win for a moment. The next one is about macroeconomics and microeconomics. You may know that I did a few degrees in economics and I loved both macro and microeconomics. In fact, I loved macroeconomics more. But what is macroeconomics? Macroeconomics is the study of the economy as a whole, so the study of the average of the country. Whereas microeconomics is the study of the individual, the study of that specific business. And I have to say, I enjoyed studying macroeconomics a lot more than microeconomics. However, when it came to practical applications, I found that the media does a lot of harm in actually suggesting that macroeconomics is more important. Well, macroeconomics is important for the policymaker, for the politician. Unless you are a politician or a policymaker, the average unemployment rate has nothing to do with you. You still are an individual and you are a seller of your services success in the market, whether that be through a job or through a business. And microeconomics, in my opinion, is far more effective than actually obsessing about macroeconomics. However, most people will obsess about macro numbers because it helps them look smart. However, when you start talking about your personal power, there's a lot of focus on microeconomics. And if you are someone who doesn't really care about what's going on in the economy, but relentlessly cares about what is in their personal power, meaning what they can impact in their microeconomic situation, they are already doing a lot better than the people who are moaning about unemployment numbers and inflation numbers. Don't get me wrong, inflation numbers are important, unemployment numbers are important, but it's important for the economists, it's important for the policymakers, it's important for the chancellors, the financial advisors, and so on. It has very little to do with what you will do differently in your life because of certain inflation numbers or certain unemployment numbers other than getting a better job, which in my opinion you should be doing anyway. And if that's what you want to do, I'll link down the replay of my free workshop in the description box below. Go have a check out of that. The next one is about playing the right game. Most people actually obsess about looking rich than being rich. But as a society, we are obsessed about that fancy car, that big house, the riverside house, that snazzy dress. However, wealth is not built by being snazzy. Wealth is built by being disciplined and playing the long game. And if you are indeed playing the right game, which is the long game, instead of playing the status games, as Naval Ravikant calls it in the Almanac of Naval Ravikant, you are already doing much better than most others. The long game could be anything from investing in yourself, investing in your education, investing in a business, or really trying to find out who you are as a person as opposed to looking rich. And I have said this multiple times that I used to buy these random handbags which did not bring any happiness into my life, but I ended up being poorer because I was playing the wrong game. And now I have very intentionally decided to put my money into things that I value, that matter to me. And that is tuning into your money dials and playing the right games. And if you are already thinking like this, congratulations, you are doing better than most others out there. Are you already doing better than most people, even though you have not realized it till just now? If so, drop me a comment below and tell me what are you doing better on. Let's celebrate your success. And if you enjoyed this video, please consider subscribing because it does help me motivate myself to create more of these videos and also actually helps out with the algorithm. And if you enjoyed this video, you might enjoy something like this or this on my channel. And I'll see you the next time. Bye.